Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Hello, 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 everybody. What's up? What's up, citizens of Gotham? Are you ready for some vigilante live streaming? Are you ready for it? Are you ready for some live streaming vigilanteisms? Can you handle it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Hey, watching vigilantes, I guess. Can you dig it? What's up, citizens? What's up? Nicholas, Minoj, Mark. You dig it? Let's get the other side of my face lit up now. Come on. Come on. Boom, 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 boom. Can you dig it? Boom, 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 boom. What's up, Concerned Backyard Politics? What's up? Check that show out. She's got her own YouTube show. She stands in front of her TV and she talks about Epstein. Who would do such a thing? I don't get it. Why would you even do that? That doesn't make sense. Why would you? No, I dig what you're doing, man. I dig Backyard Politics. I love that shows have been sprung out from watching me. I dig it. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. What's up? Hello from the Netherlands. What's up, Netherlands? Boom, hit the like button. Hit it, hit it, hit it. I'm going to tweet this out, ladies and gentlemen, so the people out of the World Wide Web can get excited about what we're doing this evening. People online, the onlinermans, I am live now. Boom, youtube.com/Graham Elwood. Was yeah, hello. Hello, citizens. Welcome to the show. Welcome from Watsonville, California. I dig it from Denmark, Copenhagen. Yeah, dig it, dig it. Can you dig it? New Jersey on your side. What's up, bud? You got it, Jersey. Hello. Good day. Did Jimmy Dore live stream today? Ellie Bean. I don't think he did. I think he took the day off. Graham making OnlyFans. I don't know what that is. Australia in the house. Hello from Canada. Just bought a ticket for y'all's Saturday live show. Graham can't wait. Yet again, shirtless G, run up. I finally got my stimulus check today. The $1,200 finally showed up today, May 7th. Shimshay smoothie. Santa Cruz, but grew up in Sussex City, New Jersey. Right on. Hello, gamer for life. What up, Graham? Don't have guns like you, but go shirtless on your shows. Oh, you're Sailor Man. You're the guy. So please, everybody, I'm going to put the Ron and I do this comedy show every Saturday at 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern. And it's Zoom show, and there's this, I would say it's Sailor Man. There's always this guy watching the show shirtless, and I'm like, right on, brother. You know, just be you. And tickets are $5, and you're supporting what we do. Oh, God, I always forgot to do this. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back. I can't talk to you while I'm off camera, so please hit the like button and share this on your social media that I'm live right now. great way to support the show is hit the dollar icon, super chat. Absolutely answer the question. I will try to answer the regular chat question. Super chat. One is support the show. Two. Other great ways to support the show are to go to patreon.com/GrahamHeldt or rockfin.com/GrahamHeldt. I'm going live every Monday. The next couple ones are going to be for Rockfin Premium members only. So check that out. Talk shit while he's away. Oh, okay. We're going to do that. What else we got here? Shirtless Saturdays. That's correct. Saturday show does rock. Shirtless Saturday. Jameson Doan. I just dropped that video about if you missed last night's live stream, I did a segment on the Venezuela coup. Even if you did watch it, there were some audio clips that the sound is always like a weird fucked up. Sometimes when I play clips, they don't go through to the live stream. I don't know why. I've tried to figure it out. Blah, blah, blah. But what did happen was so I dropped the clip. So the audio is in those clips that I drop. And I'm told this transcoder. So I've been just talking to a lot of tech people, and I think I know what part of the sound issue problem is I have too many sources right now. Because my nice Sony 4K camera that you see my regular clips on, where it's just me in front of this, you don't see any of the outside stuff. That's a really nice Sony 4K camera. And I had to buy a transcoder to basically translate the data from the camera to my computer to put it out for the live stream. So everybody and their brother started going live because of the quarantine. So they were really hard to track down. And I bought one like over a month ago from some website. I think I got scammed. I probably got to go to my bank and say, hey, I need, stop payment on that or whatever. But I bought another one, an even better one from B&H, which is a reputable company out of New York. And that's I got tracking info on it. It's supposed to be delivered tomorrow. Why I think that makes a difference, and I'm sure this tech talk is riveting, but the current camera you're seeing me on, this webcam, also has a built-in microphone, and I have to shut it off, and sometimes it turns it. So it's like, I know I'm not an audio expert by any stretch of the imagination, but what I do know is when there's multiple audio sources and microphones, it just gets problematic, and the machines pick up the wrong things when you don't want them to, and whatever else. So the production value is going to get better as soon as this fucking transcoder that I've been waiting on for a month shows up, longer than a month. Yeah. So when that shows up, I think that might alleviate some of the tech issues. But anyway, what's up, Melissa H? 80,000 people died of flu last winter in the U.S., highest death toll in 40 years by Associated Press, September 26, 2018. Mm-hmm. Yeah, how come they say only 6,000 people died of flu? Yeah, the way they're toying with the numbers with the COVID thing is really suspicious. I don't know what's up. What's up, Revan? What's up, Mark? Get a USB audio interface. See, I have that, but that's part of the problem. I appreciate the suggestions, but unless you see my whole board and the whole setup, it's hard to. So, yeah, but hopefully this will get it better. Plus, I just talked to Arno on the kind of microphone that Jimmy uses, this really high-end Sennheiser. It's an excellent mic. It's a $400 microphone. I'm currently using about $130 lavalier. My previous microphone was $20, so this $131 or whatever is an upgrade. But Jimmy's got a $400 mic. That's what I'm going to try to get. I was told Sweetwater is a good source for buying tech stuff. Oh, good to know, Backyard Politics. Try using electricity. Oh, shit, Karen, that's my fault. I don't plug anything in. Try using electricity. I love it. I love you. Robin, you sound fine to me. Thank you, Robin. And plus, we also do know, this is pure science. My vegan guns cause a lot of interference. There's a lot of vegan radioactivity coming off of these guns, and I think it interferes with the signals. That's all I'm saying. Because when you have a horseshoe like that, look at that. Look at that horseshoe. Oh, eat it. Get Jimmy's gold mic. Quando. Today I have a puppy trying to spin my chair around. Well, Rhombus Isotope, I think that's an excellent point. When puppies spin chairs, sound goes bad. Vegan guns love it. Vegan gun interference, classic. So yeah. So if grandma dies of cancer, it's now COVID. Yeah, that's it's so insane. Is this COVID thing serious? Absolutely. I know some people who had it. I know some people that work in medicine, and it's for real. But they're playing with the numbers. They're taking advantage. I mean, I think the stay-at-home orders, but for the most part, were probably smart things to do and things we needed to flatten the curve. What happened in New York City was scary, man. And the outbreaks in Seattle and San Francisco, that was like, that was scary. And for the government to sort of overreact, what I think is smart. It's better to overreact than underreact. But then the way they keep messing with the numbers and somebody trips and falls down a flight of stairs and COVID, like gets hit by a bus. Oh, it was a COVID bus. Like that shit. All of it is just, it just shows our whole broken, failed system. And people wanting to get back to work too soon. It's like, there's capitalism, we need money. We're going to make bad decisions because of money. So it's just like, there's so much of it. It's just like, God, I'm just so leery of all of it, man. Yeah, and they're using it to push an agenda for sure. Yeah, it's just really, it's right. And both things can exist at the same time. It's a legitimate virus that is very contagious, and it can hurt people in certain groups or whatever, and we don't know enough about it. There's not enough data. We need more data. And they're taking advantage of it. Just because they're taking advantage of it doesn't mean, it's just a bad flu. Might be more than that, it might not. But fuck. This is what happens when you have just a completely broken system, when capitalism runs everything. The first thing is what's best for the people. That's like third or fourth on the list in capitalism. It's like profits and business and economy and the people. Like, so it's like, it's such a false choice. All citizens should have full economic security and not have to risk illness. Yeah, that's such a great point. I brought this up numerous times, but it's like, imagine if when this all went down in March, when it all started, and they just said, okay, we're freezing everybody's rent. Like, no one has to pay rent for 3 months. Not if you miss payments, you're not evicted and you have to make them up later. But no, the federal government is going to pay everybody's rent and mortgage for a minimum of 3 months. So in 2020, you will only have 9 rent or mortgage payments to make. So we're paying your rent and mortgage for 3 months, because I understand some of the landlords are not big evil corporations. They're just like somebody who they bought a little 4-unit apartment complex, or they own a couple of condos and they're renting them out. And they're in just as much bad shape as we all are. I mean, I think about, I've talked about losing my condo, but let's say I still owned it and I was renting it out, and I had tenants in there who came to me and went, Graham, we can't pay rent. We lost our jobs. So, and they didn't pay me rent in April and May, let's just say. And I'm sure this has happened to some of you. And I was making a profit off of that. Let's just say I still owned my condo. Obama didn't let One West Bank screw me over. Kamala Harris wasn't bought and paid for and prosecuted. Let's just all of those things. let's say Obama wasn't a filthy liar, bought and paid for by the corporate and the war machine. Let's just say that didn't happen. Let's just say 6 million people didn't get screwed over 10 years ago. Anyway, for whatever reason, hypothetically, let's say I own my condo and I'm renting it out. And I'm making a little bit of a profit from it. It's a fine way to make a living. And then my tenants say, and let's say they even had good jobs, whatever. Let's say they worked for an airline, and let's say whatever. And they're like, we lost our jobs. We're out of, we can't pay. Then what do? Then I have to, and let's say I don't have the money to then make the mortgage payments. Because now I'm paying rent in my apartment and the mortgage. That was the plan. Like, oh, I know so many people that do that. We make a $500 a month profit on the condo. So then my rent is $500. Oh, that's not great. Like, whatever. Okay, so let's say, then what would I do? And I would go to the bank and say, I can't make my mortgage payments. Oh, we can't evict you. We won't evict you, but we're just, and there's, you know, no late fees or anything, but you're still going to owe those payments are going to stack up. I would be in the same boat I was 10 years ago when I lost my place. Shit, I can't make my mortgage payment for 3 months. I can't evict these people. I don't want to evict them. Let's say they're decent people. I have no problem with them personally. But then I'm put in this tough position of like, I got to lean on them. And they might just send me an email going, fuck you, we're not paying. And we're joining a rent strike. And then what do? Or the other side of that. Let's say I just couldn't make my rent payments in this apartment where I'm living right now. And I just didn't pay rent for April and May. Okay, technically they can't evict me and I've got laws on my side, but then what? 3, 6, 7 months. Let's say I don't pay my rent for 4 or 5 months. And then I can finally start paying my rent. But now I have 4 months of back rent I have to pay. Whereas if the government came in and just said, you're good, came to the landlord, the person who owns the condo, and said, here, we're taking care of your mortgage for 3 months. And then I just go to my tenants, you don't have to pay rent for 3 months. We're good. You know, we're good. Like, or just pay this amount. This is what the property taxes are, or the homeowners dues, or whatever. Like instead of, $2 grand a month, just pay me $300, $400 a month, or something like that. Great, everybody's good. Everyone's got free healthcare. Everyone gets $2,000 a month UBI. So let's say that they don't have to pay rent. They can't work. They're getting free healthcare. Maybe even student debt forgiveness if they had college loans. Those are gone, and now they get two grand a month from the government. Okay, fine. Everybody's good. Everyone's happy. People wouldn't be protesting to go back to work. They'd be like, just let me know when it's fixed. Let me know when everyone's safe. Let me know when there's a fucking medication that we can take that minimizes it. Then we're good. Yeah, so it's just like, how's he doing? I got the right idea about landlords. Yeah, and another great point here by Glowing's me. And where do you get new tenants that have any money anyway? Yeah, exactly. Again, back to this hypothetical situation of I'm just a guy who owns a condo that's renting it out. And I'm renting it out to some married couple or whatever who just, they got regular jobs. And then if they got, and let's say they can't pay and they got a grand, we got to move. We're moving back in with our parents. Sorry. Who's going to rent it? No one has a job. Governor Newsom just said today in California, we have 18% unemployment in California. And the state of California is going to have a $53 billion shortfall. That's what happens when you have the 5th largest economy in the world. All these billions of dollars are generated in all the sales tax in California. No one's shopping. You have 40 million people. You have a huge tourism industry. All the hotels by the beach and everything, they're empty, man. No one's out. No one's doing anything. No one's buying anything. There's no sales tax. No one's going to Disneyland. There's no planes, all that stuff. The state and the cities and the counties generate billions of dollars and it's gone. What do we do? But there's $4.25 trillion to give to banks. What if that $4 trillion was spread out over all 50 states? That's what should have happened. The federal government should have gone, here's this money spread out. Obviously, states, California, Texas, New York, get a bigger portion, but every state gets money to cover their budget shortfalls, to keep all their state employees working, to give money to the cities, to the schools, to the everything. But no, we're all just on our own. But I got $1,200, so I'm not worried because Steve Mnuchin said it'll last me the rest of the year. So I'm good. Yeah, if your rent's $6 and you can buy a month's worth of groceries for a nickel, then you'll be set. You'll be fine. Gas is a penny. Everything's great. Like, fuck. Can't wait till a good vaccine is out. Working at a major U.S. health system, we're required to get the flu vaccine each fall. It's free for us. The COVID vaccine will go mandatory for us. Ready for it. Yeah. Yes, but the Wall Street had their best day since 1938, so everything's fine. Yeah, I know. This is the thing that I hope comes out of this, because we're regular American people that don't pay as much attention as all of us do. The people that are like, who just 3 months ago were who were just told the economy's good, so they're like, oh, the economy's good. No, it's not. Well, the stock market's doing well. Now they're sitting at home going, I got a $1,200 check. I can't pay my bills. I'm behind on my rent now. But the stock market's up. Who gives a shit if the stock market's up? Everyone's realizing that. There's empty shelves. There's people on strike. Who gives a shit if the stock market's up? Exactly. Because 85% of all stocks are owned by 1% of the population. So the stock, who gives a shit? Like, it's such a scam, the whole system. Watch Paradise or Oblivion on YouTube by the Venus Project for a vision of the future that we should work towards. Absolutely. 350 and watching, 143 likes. Hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Put a 1% tax on the stock market and they could pay all of us to stay at home and stay safe. Absolutely. Got ID experts at my health system, Kelly Jones, who say it'll be ready next year, Oxford of the South, so they seem to know what they're talking about, but we'll see. Yeah. Capitalism is killing us. What about the show Jimmy did on Our Revolution, taking billionaire money? Yeah. Not surprised, man. If Our Revolution is too tied into the Democratic Party, we saw them, they all sold us out. So I'm not surprised at that at all. All right, let's read some super chats, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button, folks. Like it up. It's Thursday night, May 7th. Like button. Hit the like button. Let's read some super chats. Don't forget, this is the ticket link for Ron and I's show Saturday at 5 o'clock Pacific. And if you can't make the show, I put the entire show, and it's usually in the neighborhood of an hour and a half to 2 hours, on my Patreon at the $5 level. So if you miss it, you're in a different time zone, or you got to work Saturdays, I put the whole show. You hear everything Ron's doing. You hear the audience laughing. It's super fun. It's on Patreon at the $5 level. J Hope's ego. Shave your knuckles for justice. What do you think about Yang and Tulsi being promised positions in Biden administration? Certainly preferable to Pompeo and Gang. Not to mention Obama, who kept half of Bush's cabinet. Well, it tells me two things. One, I knew they got promised positions. That's why they backed Joe Biden. That's what the Democrats did. So they talked all that, and that's why they wouldn't go after Joe Biden that hard. And that's why they didn't rally behind Bernie. And that's probably Bernie got promised something. So they sold out for a cabinet position in Joe Biden's. I mean, are they better than Mike Pompeo and his cabinet? Sure. But here's the thing you got to pay attention to. don't fall for this. This is incremental centrism breadcrumbs. So like, well, is it better to have Tulsi Gabbard and Andrew Yang in any presidential cabinet over Mike Pompeo? Yeah, sure. But we won't get a real progressive agenda with Joe Biden. And Yang and Tulsi will play ball, and they'll tell themselves and their followers, who they want to be consistent donors, to say, you know, yeah, we didn't get what we wanted, but in 2024 or 2028, oh, Tulsi Gabbard will be president in 2028. Well, she sold out so easily, so I wouldn't vote for her to be president. And in 2028, after 4 more years of Trump, or 4 years of Trump, and then in 2024 we get a Democrat. Look how quickly they folded. They talked this big game. Tulsi was actually the only one really talking about the corruption of the Democratic Party and calling Hillary Clinton a warmonger and all this stuff. But then she just buckled that quickly, man. And Bernie buckled, and Yang, they were all it was all theater, man. So I don't try, I'm not voting for Joe Biden. I don't give a shit what fake sellout progressive, libertarian, tech libertarian, that's what Ron calls Andrew Yang, because all you've just shown, all of them, AOC, Bernie, Tulsi, Yang, whatever, Warren, they'll sell out, and they'll keep selling out to get these little incremental wins, like that bullshit stimulus plan. AOC does that big, oh, I voted against. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Gabbard voted for it. They'll play ball, push comes to shove. So in a cabinet, we'll get the most we can get with the Democratic Party. We'll get a couple of table scraps. They'll throw us some half-eaten dog meat and say, yay, big victory. And they'll want us to do backflips for it and say, thank you, oligarchs. Thank you, corporate overlords. The Democrats are better than the Republicans because the Democrats let us eat out of the billionaires' trash cans after a nice party. The Republicans just let us eat on the street. So that's what I think about it. Yeah, it's better than Mike Pompeo. I just watch my Venezuela clip that I dropped earlier today. You see Mike Pompeo on April 29th saying there's a coup underway. I'm confident we're going to have Maduro out of there. April 29th, May 5th, his boys got busted. Some of them killed. A bunch of them just flipped like that. They just said, nope, we're working for Silver Corp. Working for Silver Corp, who works for Trump. And Trump's asked, I don't know what happened. Americans in Venezuela, I've never heard of such a thing. I got to get on a helicopter. I got to get back to my tanning salon. Jameson Doan, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Thank you for supporting the show. Graham, Tara Reid's story confirmed that in Tribune article, court docs from 1996, 2 hours ago, this broke. Also, when are you and Ron going to be on Jimmy Dore again? Yeah. Tara Reid, it's all coming out now, which in the one hand, I'm glad, and she deserves to be treated with justice. And she is, I believe her, just like I believe, what was it, Dr. Ford against Kavanaugh. I don't selectively, it's good. I hope she gets her justice. She's been smeared horribly. It's just, it's unreal. And she's not guilty here, and yet Megyn Kelly wants her to take a lie detector test. Why doesn't Joe Biden take a lie detector test? He wouldn't even fucking know what day it is, a dementia-having rapist. So I'm glad. I hope the justice comes out. The reason it's coming out now, and it didn't come out when the primaries were still happening, if had this come out 3-4 months ago, before Super Tuesday, Bernie would have walked away with it. And there's no way the Democratic Party was going to let that happen. This feels like the Clintons. I mean, this just feels like they have such a stranglehold on the media that that's why this is coming out. So they got Bernie to step down. They got Tulsi and Andrew Yang to take cabinet posts. See how quickly they sold out. They sold out for a guy that Hillary and the Democratic establishment, the ruling class, there's no intention of him being, he's not going to be the nominee come November. It's going to be Hillary, and her VP pick's going to be Cuomo or something like that. So I'm glad Biden's getting called out. I'm glad Tara Reade there's more evidence and justice for her, because Biden is a filthy rapist, as is Trump. But this is Clinton shit. It's, that's the long game on this. I want Tara Reade to get justice and fuck Joe Biden. But this Hillary's going to magically appear this summer. Just watch. Artificial Morphosman. Are you shaving your knuckles for justice, Artificial Morphosman? When capitalism is left unchecked, what's cheap? Cars, oil, labor, and lives. What's sacred? Profits. Why are the progressive politicians laying down? I know. They're just, yeah. It's such a great point. You bring up, as we talk about, what we've been saying is that this pandemic is showing how awful capitalism is, how horrible our government system is. Not just Trump. He's a buffoon, but the whole system's broken. These states that are opening up too soon, I guarantee you their numbers are going to spike. Just watch. All those people protesting, MAGA hat isn't going to prevent your getting the virus. So it's just what happens. And cars, oil, labor, what's sacred? Profits. Yeah, it's profits over everything else. Everything. We have a for-profit government. We have a for-profit healthcare system. We have for-profit prisons, which means we need criminals. Part of the for-profit healthcare system is the pharmaceutical companies. When I had Lee Camp on the show, we talked about that Goldman Sachs executive who said finding cures is bad for business. So that's why, is there going to be some vaccine that just fixes COVID-19 and we never have to deal with it again like polio? I don't see that happening unless it's Bill Gates's, computer chip one that I will never take. Because these corporate, as Dylan Radigan calls them, rapacious oligarchs, they probably looked at the polio vaccine and went, oh, we could have made more money. Rather than cure that disease, if we were just sort of treated it, then people would be taking polio medication for years instead of the one-time vaccine. I'm sure they thought of that. That's the way they think. So if there's this mandated vaccine, then we know it's definitely this whole thing was created, or bioweapon or whatever, to get everybody to put a tracking device in their fucking head, which I don't trust. But more than likely what's going to happen is they're going to come up with a treatment that minimizes it so that they can sell billions of dollars of this medication every year when COVID, just like you take antibiotics if you get a really bad flu or what. I think that's, and the progressive politicians they're weak. They're the weakest. The progressive leadership inside the Democratic Party is the weakest bunch of fake ass sheep herding sellouts ever. Remember how excited we were when AOC won? It was like, wow. And the way she won, I don't believe she was some deep state Manchurian candidate. I don't believe that at all. I think she won honestly. She was this, and it showed you how hungry the people are. For this 28-year-old waitress from the Bronx who was fighting the good fight, who was inspired by Bernie. I think all that was legitimate. And then she started to they were like, well, she's got too much power. So they pulled her aside and said, either threatened her or here's some money to play ball, or just make this little concession and we'll give you this thing. And she went, okay, that's what Tulsi and Andrew Yang have done. All right, I'm not going to get president and get all these things we want, but I'll be in Joe Biden's and we'll affect change from within. Yeah, I'm going to join
I'm going to join one of the most evil drug cartels in Mexico because I'm going to eventually get them to stop selling drugs and killing people and cutting off the heads of their competitors and torturing and raping and selling drugs that murder people and destroy lives. I'm going to get them to change. And then weird, once I got inside this criminal organization, which is what the Democrats and Republicans are, they are criminal organizations, I find out it's kind of hard to get a drug cartel that profits from selling drugs to stop selling them. But they just said they're not going to sell them as close to schools as they used to. And I go, yay, victory. We did it. Progressive victory. They're only going to use some superdelegates to cheat a candidate that the people want. Fuck them. They don't give a shit. I'm never giving any of them a fucking penny. They're all welcome to come on this show, provided they actually have to answer some tough questions, which none of them, not Bernie, not Tulsi, not AOC, none of them, not Andrew Yang, none of them have the balls, the backbone, the integrity to answer those questions. They'll go on MSNBC and talk about how bad the Republicans are, and we'll be told that's the resistance. And the resistance they're giving the Republicans is the same kind of resistance in professional wrestling. You know, when they take the chair and they hit the guy in the back, they go, oh, that's the resistance. And he acts like it really hurt when it didn't. It's a flat chair on a 250-pound guy. It's just, it sounds loud like that. Oh, that sounds like that's not loud. It's not, that didn't hurt. And they act all, oh, fucking bullshit. Mike 389, 1973, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice, Mike. Graham, they lied about the Gulf of Tonkin incident. They lied about weapons of mass destruction. They lied about Syria. Why would we believe them now? Stop with your purity tests, Mike. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing to believe any of it. I do not believe the ruling class. And you have outsiders that are progressives, and once they get inside the system, then they sell out. I can't believe them. Why won't AOC, if she's so resistant, she won't call out Nancy Pelosi anymore. She won't call out the cheating of the Democratic primary. Was the UN said it was rigged. The UN. Not Bernie supporters, the UN, who tracks elections around the world. Just a bunch of burn bros, just a bunch of crybaby burn bros over at the UN. Is that what's going on over there? I don't trust or believe any of them. They're all sellouts. Harry C. Smith, Harry, shave your knuckles for justice. And tune up your vegan guns, Harry. As Kim Iverson pointed out, even with a vaccine, even if you could inoculate 1 million people a day, it would still take 1 year just to do America. Yeah. Yep. It's a good point. Karen Webster, I got to get Kim back on the show. Shaving Knuckles for Justice, Kim. Joe would pass. He wouldn't even know what date is to the lie detector test. Oh, he'd go, the lie detector, you know, the thing. Joe, what does that mean? Yeah, the thing. Corn Pop, he gave me some lies in a swimming pool one time. It was amazing. Joe, what? Johnny Wishbone. Johnny, thank you for supporting the show with a crazy pear monster terrorizing a city. You're making Gotham great again, Johnny Wishbone. Adrian, what's up? Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Thank you for the perspective and the needed comedy during these insane times. Shim Shake rules. Just manifest it. Manifest. Yeah, I dropped a Shim Shake video where he's on Elon Musk's space station. He's doing great. And by the way, off camera, for those of you who were like, who is that? It's Ron Placone asking me questions. I took that clip from our live comedy show. Shim Shake, Granny Petrol, they always come to the Saturday comedy shows. So thank you, Adrian, for supporting the show. Hi, BA. Shave on BA. Graham, can you please repeat how much politicians earn versus how much they're worth? It is important to remind people of the numbers, the corruption. Oh, yeah, that's such a great point. So somebody like Nancy Pelosi is worth in the neighborhood of $100 million. And the salary to be in Congress is something like 150 grand or something like that. Like, the president gets paid in the neighborhood of $300,000 a year. That's the president's salary from the United States government. President of the United States of America makes like 300 grand or something. So Congress and the Senate, they make 100 grand or something right in that neighborhood. But so As Harry Truman said, the only way for a politician to become rich is by being corrupt. I'm paraphrasing what he actually, but he said that statement, that sentiment. Nancy Pelosi is worth $100 million. There's no way for that to happen unless you're utterly corrupt. There's just no way. And most of them are. And Tulsi and Bernie and AOC and Yang all got some carrots dangled in front of their face, so they're running off to support dementia rapist Joe Biden. Melissa H. Shave your knuckles for justice. Don't you think COVID-19 was created and released on purpose? It's oligarchs taking advantage of a crisis just like they always do, and they're very good at it. You know, it very well could be the case. It's hard to say. The fact that they're doubling down so hard on blaming China leads me to believe that it was the United States. Because we need, as I pointed out, we need to blame China because they went off the petrodollar, and them and Russia and those other handful of Central Asian countries are now trading commerce, not using the dollar as well. So, and that conversation we had with Whitney Webb about all of the people from the Dark Winter simulation from 2001, that many of them were involved in the pandemic simulation of 2019, that we were completely predicted COVID-19 and yet weren't prepared. So there are a lot of questions. I wouldn't doubt that they went, oh, let's release this thing on here because we can use this. And it's another way to scoop up everybody's homes. Because remember what I was just talking about? That hypothetical of if I owned a condo and my tenants couldn't pay the rent and then I couldn't pay the mortgage, so they would come in and scoop up, I'd lose my condo again. And they're going to, the next year or two or three, you're going to see it. People are going to lose their homes. I've had 2 comedy clubs on the Progressive Comedy Tour, one in Seattle and one in Boston, call Ron and I and say, we had to close our doors. They're out of business. So that's just 2 comedy clubs. And Ron and I had dates all the way through October. So the Seattle venue was last month in April. And we were going to Boston, I think, in September. And they're shut their doors. They're done. They're out of business. Who's going to buy up that piece of property? All these like independent landlords that aren't rich people, that aren't big corporations, that just own a condo like that's like hypothetical, or just, I don't know, a person or a married couple owns a little 4-unit apartment complex, or all of those businesses are going to get bought out by big corporations. All the corporations that got part of the $4 trillion, I bet you they're just waiting, they're just hanging back, waiting for more foreclosures and more bankruptcies, and they're going to just, I bet you these clubs that are canceling because they're out of business, a lot of the clubs were rescheduling because we want to go back on tour whenever we're allowed to, and we always try to find independent rock clubs, and that's what comedy clubs, that's what Ron and I love doing. That's what that tour is all about. We love supporting independent business owners. But I bet you we're going to see some of them get wiped out, and they're going to get bought up by fucking Starbucks or whoever else. Oh, it used to be this cool rock club, and now it's a Chipotle or it's a Chase Bank with a coffee shop in it or whatever. I saw some capital. Oh, God. It's gnarly, man. Some old guy's retirement plan. More from Uchin. We're going to turn into Haiti. Yeah. Newsom don't serve. What's up? I believe in Tulsi and gave her money. I've never donated before. Won't now for sure. Yeah, I donated to Tulsi, Bernie, and Mike Gravel. And Bernie and Tulsi owe me fucking money. They owe me money. Mike Gravel, he still seems honorable to me. But
It's sad, but people won't wake up and leave the DNC until COVID kills so many people that they walk outside one day and their neighborhood is empty. Yeah, it's the same thing. The diehard vote any blue will do people, and these these MAGA hat wearers that want to reopen the country. When those people have friends and family like die or get seriously sick from this, when one of those people who's, we're reopen the country, our body, our choice, when that person is in the hospital for a month and they barely get out alive, they're going to change their tune. Or their friend dies or whatever. Fucking dumb. Since we're back in the Gilded Age, might as well bring back public gaming. That's hilarious. Back in the 30s, a reporter asked a guy why he robbed banks, and he said it's where the money's at. Well, that's the other thing I worry about is the economy. It's worse. There's going to be more petty crime and stuff like that. And I don't rob your neighbor. Like oh, Nancy Pelosi, people don't want change. Oh, she's so dumb. She's so out of touch. She doesn't want change, because if change would mean she might have to give up one of her ice cream filled freezers. That's why she doesn't want to change. Canned food is the next currency. Or cryptocurrency. I'm really shocked the crime wave hasn't started yet. I don't want it to start. I'm not looking forward to it. I think right now people are still getting some stimulus checks and starting to get unemployment, and I think the cold reality of like, we got to reopen the economy, and let's say they do, and let's say there'll be a little spike in numbers, and maybe they shut it back down again. But even if they don't, even if they were able to reopen the whole economy and everything's great, there's still industries that are never going to recover from this. There's still going to be, I've heard economists say, well, the economy will be back to like 80%. That's a depression. 20% no economy. Like, I know people, and they were like flight attendants. Since I was talking to a flight attendant friend of mine today, she's like, it's not going to happen. I mean, the big concert venues and all that, the big sporting events and all that, those aren't coming back for a year. And all the businesses associated with that, the bars and restaurants around the arenas, all the people that work inside the arenas, all the people that work with the team. I mean, you got to be kidding me. If NBA players are going to have to take a pay cut, you better believe there's going to be a bunch of jobs not happening. I mean, yes. So I started watching Korean baseball a little bit, and they're playing in empty stadiums, and it's cool to watch baseball, and they're going to probably do versions of that for all the sports leagues here. But that means all those people not working, all those people not spending that money, and even if you do open the stadiums up, there's still going to be people who aren't going to have the money. The economy comes back, and 9 months from now, everything's great. There's still going to be people like, well, I got to pay off the 4 months of back rent I owe. Yeah, I wasn't evicted because the law wouldn't allow it, but I still owe this. So people are going to have crushing debt if they survive out of this. Oh, fuck. Vashon Dog Boy. Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Graham, Flynn dismissal reaction. Did I miss that? I haven't really talked about that yet, the Flynn thing. I've been following that a little. I mean, God, it's just more, it's more insanity. It's like, yeah, it's pretty nuts, man. Christian Mascaras. Oh. Colombian CIA puppet here. Oh, interesting. Right. Yeah, I just haven't followed the Flynn thing that much. I'm sure there's some hidden deep state scam thing. Bash on Dog Boy about Flynn being dismissed. I'm sure it's some tactic. So I don't know. I don't know what it is because I haven't followed it that closely, but I don't believe anything like that is ever what they say it is. There's always some other hidden motive behind it. I don't know what it is yet. I haven't followed it closely enough. Maybe somebody like Erni or whatever would know more about it, but that's what I think of that. 432 watching, 259 likes. Hit the like button, hit the like button. Bro, what segments you got planned for today? Oh, Nicholas, I'm glad you asked. You don't need to ask 4 times, but I do have a segment here for you. Hold on a second. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Go to GrahamElwood.com. Merchandise is available. I just put Earbuds, the podcasting documentary DVD. It's on sale now for $15. That includes shipping. I will autograph it. I'll autograph the book and the 2 DVDs. The 2 DVDs are on sale for $15 because I know that's an old medium. Most things are streaming or downloads or whatever, but I have some boxes of those, and when they're gone, but they're autographed and they're cool. And the Earbuds has like interviews with Joe Rogan in it and Mark Maron and Aisha Tyler, and we go to Australia and Japan. It's a really cool movie, and I'll autograph it for you. I ship everything using recycled material packaging, and I use the post office, which is union labor. And you're supporting a small business owner, myself, and some of the other products are made by small businesses, like the Political Vigilante t-shirt. So go to GrahamElwood.com. Like if you order tonight, I'll put it in the mail tomorrow. I'm the one doing it. My vegan guns are filling the packaging and putting the label on. It's got a barcode. It's like fast. Everyone's like, I order from some of these other websites, certain things, like I ordered some camera equipment, and they use off. It's like, I ran a shipping company for 10 fucking years. Comedy Film Nerds. We shipped thousands, I mean, tens of thousands of products in that time. We weren't a huge company. We were doing it out of my buddy's garage. We used the post office. The number of times the post office screwed up on like 10,000 orders, I can count on one hand. I don't dislike, it's such a fake narrative that's been pushed mainly by Republicans, but Democrats too, but by corporate, the post office is, they're awful. We need to privatize it. The post office is fine. It's been deliberately gutted by the Republicans and by assholes like Pete Buttigieg, who when he worked at a consulting firm, they deliberately gutted the union and they're trying to get rid of the post office because they want it all privatized. But the post office does a pretty fine job. And whenever this product is ordered, it's coming from FedEx, and I'm just like, oh, fuck, I hate when FedEx is fine if you're sending it to a business that has a receptionist. But if I'm not here exactly when the FedEx guy comes tomorrow, or girl, sorry, man or woman, and not here to sign for it, then they're going to put a dumb fucking sticker on my door, and I got to wait till Monday. And then if I miss them again, then it'll take an extra fucking week. Where the post office, see, I know my postal carrier. I go, hey man, what's up? I see him almost every day. Hey Graham, if you see something for me, he'll leave it on my door, or put it down by the mailboxes in the lobby. Like what the? God, I hate it when these corporations just don't. Oh, FedEx is so much better. Is it? Is it? I'm sure it's fine, and they used to, if you work for them, great. But it's like it's only when you send it to another business, it's great. The post office is fucking fine, man. I used it for 10 years. Never had a problem. And the priority mail, the flat rate shipping, is the best deal on the planet. You can print labels off of the post office website. This is just for you at home, or stamps.com. You can get these sticky labels from Staples. You can order them online. They print it out, boom, stick it on there. There's a barcode. I do that every Christmas. Everyone's waiting at line at the post office. Well, boom. The priority mail packaging is free. They give you free packaging.
It's the best fucking deal on the planet. I don't get it. I don't have to fill out all these crazy forms like FedEx. Like, it just, boom, address, that, boom, there's tracking number. If you buy from me, you get sent an email saying your order is shipped and there's a tracking number and you can track it. You can tell me exactly, you know exactly where your thing is. Oh, fuck. It's not that fucking hard. God damn, I ordered this fucking equipment and just to send it to my... I saw that it was tracking by FedEx and I was like, oh shit, God, I hope I'm here tomorrow. Or the FedEx person just leaves it if I'm not around. They don't put one of these, we'll pick it up later stickers. Just drop it. I don't need a signature for it. It's not uranium. Just fucking, just drop, like, God. Anyway. Yeah, they want everything profit driven. Yeah, that's the thing. Love the post office. It's an amazing blueprint to run a successful service without tax money. Yeah, exactly. We don't need tax money for it. We shouldn't. It should be self-supporting. But the capitalists tried to screw it up and make it look bad. So they go, oh, we got privatized. Privatize is better. No, privatize is better for the 1%. It's better for CEOs. It's not better for you and I. Think about the post office. You put a stamp on an envelope. And before this pandemic, anywhere in the US, 50 states, Alaska, Hawaii, 3 to 5 days. How amazing is that? Oh, no, it's not good enough. I don't want to spend $40 to ship a 1 ounce envelope. I don't want to do that. I want to spend $25. Fucking flat rate shipping is $7.75. I just shipped to one of you. One of you bought the book, earbuds, and Live from Afghanistan. So the book's heavy. The book's like a pound. And then the 2 DVDs and the shipping order, it's over a pound. I put it in a padded flat rate envelope. Padded. $7.75. Fucking out the door. Doop, doop, doop. Get it. Boom. Guy's going to probably get it tomorrow. Oh, fuck. Yeah, exactly. I'm Sweet Leaf. It is, the U.S. Post Office is good employment for a lot of people. Well, and it's union. It's union labor. God damn it. It's not that fucking hard. Graham, use media mail. It's cheaper. It's not as much cheaper as you think. And first of all, if somebody buys from me, I like getting stuff. When I buy it, I like getting it quick. So I use first class mail. Media mail is not that much cheaper. Believe me, I've gone through this. I ran a shipping company for 10 fucking years. It's not that much cheaper. First class mail is fine. It's fine. It gets there in 3 to 5 days. Priority mail, if it's over a certain weight, you're better using priority mail. If it fits, it ships. It's a great slogan. Boom. It's so simple. What can you do individually to help the post office? Buy stamps. Ship anything. If you're shipping something to a family member, if you sell something on eBay or whatever, use the post office. It's super easy. Buy stamps, use the post office as much as you can. I mean, that's fucking simple. It's fine. Should we have national health service or just national health insurance? Here's how you do it. You do what, so Medicare is, right, is for people over whatever, 60 or 65, whatever it is, 50, I forget what it is. But yeah, you go to whatever doctor you want. And let's say you get a procedure and the doctor or the hospital charges you $2,000. Medicare then comes in. This is where the federal government gets involved and negotiates the price down. So you get to go whatever doctor you want, but the federal government just negotiates the price down. And they try to demonize that, like, oh, it's so awful. It's that simple. It's that fucking simple. 295 likes. Hit the goddamn like button. Let's do it, guys. Hello, everybody. My name is Grandel, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. What Well, we have a great press in this country, right? That's why you watch this show, because our corporate media is so good. Well, let's see how they were judged globally. Oh, we just dropped to 45th in the world in terms of freedom of the press. The report calls out Trump as a media bashing enthusiast. Now, this is a thing that's like, yes, Trump says that all the time. Fake news, fake news, fake news. Which is convenient. I mean, that's his tactic. It helped him get elected. And I don't know that I call it fake news. It's corporate news. And this includes Fox and MSNBC and CNN. But this poll just shows you how shitty, whatever you want to call it, how shitty our media is. That's why you watch your news. For me, you can trust me, a comedian in his apartment, wearing a t-shirt a little too tight to make his vegan guns look bigger than they are, standing in front of a TV. You trust me more because I'm not bullshitting you. I'm giving you as much truth and information as I possibly can as one guy doing a show alone. Because there's no big corporations telling me what I can and cannot say. They're so full of shit, but this is the study. So it shows you how bad it is. Right, did the media, they should have gone crazy over the election rigging. They should have gone nuts over the shadow app in the Democratic primary. The media, if they were doing their job, would have been like crucifying Pete Buttigieg for that. Investigative reporter's been crawling all over that. When the UN report said this was clearly a rigged election, when Bernie Sanders had double-digit exit poll wins, and then Biden ended up winning by 3 or 4 points, and there's that electronic voting machines. If we had a real media, they would be all over that. They would have crucified the Podesta emails. They brought up the Podesta emails 4 years ago, and then they kind of let it go. 4 years of talking about Russia. Rachel Maddow wouldn't exist if we had a real media. She wouldn't be allowed to do that bullshit. Or maybe she would do what she used to do on Radio America before she sold out for a 7-8 figure income. The U.S. has dropped to spot 45 in this year's ranking of countries based on press freedom, conducted by NGO Reporters Without Borders. The survey ranked 180 countries based on factors such as pluralism, media independence, media environment and self-censorship, legislative framework, transparency, and the quality of the infrastructure that supports the production of news and information. Let's go back here. Media independence. This is probably the biggest thing we don't have. There are 6 companies that own all major media in the United States and most of the world. 6 companies. Might even be down to 5 now, because I think a couple of them merged. I've talked about that. I'll go into this in a second. So there's that. There's the media environment and self-censorship. Well, that starts the minute you get a lot of corporate money. So you as a reporter know if Raytheon and Boeing are buying a lot of ad time, you don't even necessarily need to be told by your producer or news director, hey, don't do that story showing the corruption of the war machine. You just know internally, well, I'm not going to bring that up. I don't want, they buy a lot of ad time with us. You just make that decision as the reporter. They buy a lot of ad time with us, right? I've been in that environment. I've done, my movie podcast. This is on such a teeny little scale, but my movie podcast, and we would have advertisers pay us a little bit of money to do ad reads, and we would do ad reads, Like, hey, CVS oil absorbing sheets. They're so great, and blah, blah, and they give us ad copy to read. And we just knew we didn't even have to say it. We couldn't make fun of the product. You really need these. Don't say it. We couldn't make any. These are good, but they're not great for the environment. I couldn't do anything like that. I just knew that. I mean, we did a couple times. We made jokes, and they got mad, and we had to do what they called make goods, and reread the ad copy because we didn't read it exactly to their liking. So you start censoring. You're not going to go, this is bullshit. You need the ad revenue. That's why I like doing this show. Because the clickable ads on YouTube, I mean, when you watch those ads, yeah, I get paid, and I appreciate when you watch them and you click skip ad, I don't get paid. But those companies, well, they try to censor you because I get demonetized if I talk about Epstein or any of these other things. But I don't give a shit because I also make money on Patreon and other ways. That's why I set up multiple revenue streams. Because if I was just dependent on YouTube ad revenue, I'd have to ask myself a tough question. Well, I could do this video on the Yemen war or the corruption or how we just sent a bunch of CIA mercenaries down to Venezuela that just got caught, but I might lose the ad revenue and I'm not going to do that. That's why I love Patreon and Rockfin and all that. That's why I do that, because I don't want to be censored, because I know how it works. Now imagine, I'm one guy in his apartment. Imagine you work for some massive organization. And Bill Gates, he gave $10 million and Microsoft bought this, and we can't go after, companies trying to get rid of net neutrality because, Verizon and AT&T buy a lot of that. We can't. That's how big it is. That's how much money we're talking about. Can ESPN really go after the NFL for covering up CTE? Not when they got to deal with the NFL. Do you see what I'm saying? A media bashing enthusiast, Trump has referred to reporters as enemies of the people, the term once used by Joseph Stalin. The report says, yeah, so Trump is obviously not good either. He says fake news because he can't handle anybody contradicting him. He's a little child. He'll never admit he's wrong, like children. Like children never admit they're wrong. I'm not wrong, and he can't handle the pressure, and that's why he has to throw people out of the press. And even though the press does jackass things, the press are idiots, and the press has profited from Trump's jackassery. He's good for business, so they need these crazy fights in the press room, and he's easy. He's easy to push his buttons. It's easy to do because he's a little child and a narcissist. But let's look at this. Coming in at the top spot for the second year in a row, Norway, followed by Sweden. Here are the top 10 countries: Norway, Sweden, Netherlands, Finland. All great quality of life, free health insurance, all these countries. Switzerland, Jamaica, Belgium, New Zealand, Denmark, Costa Rica. Susie Dawson might argue with that. Here are the 10 worst. North Korea, Eritrea, I don't know where that is, Turkmenistan, Syria, China, Vietnam, Sudan, Djibouti, Cuba, Equatorial Guinea. But let us not forget, here's something that was not in this report. It's something I tend to show you on a fairly regular basis. But if they put this in the report, we would be down there with China. I show you this all the time, the propaganda multiplier. There's the White House, the CIA, and the Pentagon feeds the big news agencies, AP, AFP, Reuters, and then all these companies. So that's why Reporters Without Borders, okay, they're an NGO, all right, they want to show how bad Trump is. Yeah, Trump's a jackass, but they didn't talk about this. This is the one thing this report missed. I wonder why. Maybe they're just not paying attention. And I've talked about this before. So when Stephen Colbert, who has the same agent as like Anderson Cooper and Joe Biden or Bill Clinton or whatever, they're all the same big agent, says literally brings up State Department talking points when he's interviewing Tulsi Gabbard before she sold out. That's why it seems like, and you hear all of the Russia hacked our elections. You've heard it all over the place, so it seems it must be true because it all came from here. In the same, conversely, I've heard neoliberals who are like, hey, Bernie lost. He tried. He just didn't have the numbers. And I said, no, they cheated. He goes, well, how come we haven't heard about it? Because it was deliberately blocked out. They didn't talk about. Maybe Fox News taught. If Fox News is critical of the Democratic Party, neoliberals just write them off because they're the professional, they're the enemy, they're the bad guy in that professional wrestling scenario. Right? When NBC or CNN calls out Trump and the Republican Party, the Fox viewers do the same thing. Oh, they're the bad guy to my favorite professional wrestler is Fox News. And my Fox News wrestler cannot do anything wrong. Fox News and the Republicans can never do anything wrong. And I'm a vote any blue will do moron. And so my CNN, MSNBC, Democrat pro wrestler, they could do never wrong. It's just the Hulk Hogan versus the Iron Sheik. It's the same bullshit. So as much as they all say the same thing, you also have to pay attention to as much as what they don't. Why are none of them covering it? Because it's bad business for these folks. why aren't we just 24/7 now? What's happening in Venezuela? All these mercenaries got caught. They're going to report it. But guess how it's going to come out? Maybe they're going to try to hang this on Juan Guaido or something. MSNBC will just call out the private contractor at Silvercorp that's buddies with Trump. So they'll just say, oh, this is Trump's bumbling. They'll just try to do that. NBC won't show the clip that I've shown you of Nancy Pelosi applauding, standing and applauding with Trump at the State of the Union back in whenever that was, January, February. Juan Guaido, freedom fighters in the audience tonight. They won't talk about that. None of these companies will talk about how Juan Guaido was appointed by the CIA. They won't talk about that. When they get busted, they always seal it off like it's just a handful of bumbling. It's, oh, Gilligan. It's always Jeffrey Epstein, just was despondent and he just felt bad. And that's why he hung himself on suicide watch. That's why we're not talking about Epstein. It's all controlled. I bring this up on so many videos because it's all relatable. This is the root of so many of it is right here. Shave your knuckles for justice, baby. Too much truth laying down. Too much truth laying down. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. How'd you like that segment? How'd you like that hot, fresh segment? Shoved into your ear holes. Where are we at? The age of the nation state is over. Welcome to the dystopian future. You got that? Maddow is the horror of Babylon as predicted in the big book of the false prophecy. Pelosi belongs in the Wacky Museum. Nice. You see Epstein's still alive? Yeah, whatever. Guaido equals CIA. Guaido is Venezuelan. Pete Buttigieg. Yep. Richard Swanek. Nobody is forcing healthy people onto ventilators. Which corporations other than Microsoft are involved with Epstein? Victoria's Secret, Les Wexner is like the head of the snake. So as much as I hate to say it, ladies, don't shop there. Guys, don't buy them for your, I hate to say it, I love Victoria's Secret, how it looks. Dated several women who like, I just got the, I'm down with that. Get your sexy lingerie somewhere else. Don't support Victoria's Secret. They're awful. They used to go recruit girls and, oh, we'll make you a Victoria's Secret model, and then they get trafficked. It's horrifying. So there's those corporations. There is, you know what? Wait. I think I have another segment here to do that I did on Rockfin. On Monday nights at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific, exclusively on Rockfin is a members only thing. So you got to be a $10 premium member on Rockfin. But there was a clip I did on that one that I'll do again. Hold on, let me check here. Hold on. All right. I might have lost that one. What is it now? No, I did that Epstein one. Okay. Hold on, I thought I had a different another tab. I thought I had another clear. I thought I had a hair. I thought I had a hair. Did I do that thing? Would I read that secret rap meeting that destroyed a generation? Did I do that? I think I did do that. I think I did do that. I think I did do that. Okay. Sorry, just looking. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. 337 likes. Let's enter some super chats, you delicious people. Let's make Jeff Bezos the last billionaire on earth. Rockfin night. Rockfin night rules. Yeah, Rockfin's super fun. Yeah. And here's the thing. If you go to rockfin.com/Graham Elwood and sign up through me and endorse me for $10 a month, you get all the premium content creators. Kim Iverson just started putting content on there. Jimmy Dore told me he's going to start putting stuff on Rockfin. It's blockchain. It's cryptocurrency. It's a great way to support the show. And on Monday nights, man, I can just let her rip, baby. Ain't no goddamn Google bots censoring me. All right, let's answer some super chats, ladies and gentlemen. The Naughty Vegan. What's up, Naughty Vegan? Shake those knuckles, baby. Animal agriculture majorly contributes to global warming. Absolutely true. Disease, diabetes, cancer creates 70% of pandemics. Do you recommend beef burgers or steaks? I do not recommend beef burgers or steaks. Yeah, it's a great point. And I'm starting to see more research, and I want to see a little more. I need to see some more studies, but I'm hoping more studies come out to show how, like, being a vegan is, meat and like this. Supposedly, if this wasn't a U.S. bioweapon, supposedly it came from a wet market, which those are pretty horrific in and of themselves. But like mad cow disease, all this crap comes. I really want to know too, the people that are getting it and not showing a lot of symptoms. Is there a consistency in the fact that they're vegetarian or vegan or don't eat dairy or don't eat meat? Like, I want to know if they're finding a through line. Because I think David Wint sent me this thing about they've done 3 studies showing that how vitamin D, because they're treating, I saw that one of the things they're treating COVID patients with is zinc, vitamin C, and vitamin D. And they're finding that vitamin D, why certain groups are getting more effective than not. And one of the things they found is the reason there hasn't been like widespread COVID deaths among the homeless is because they're all out in the sun. And they're absorbing a lot of vitamin D. It was the theory in these 3 different studies. It's preliminary. I don't know. We need more data, more research. But yeah, I want to know that. And I want to know what the vegetarian vegan diet, especially the vegan diet, like no dairy, no eggs. I want to really know how that relates to this. I really want to know that. But you bring up a great point, Naughty Vegan. And regardless of how it relates to COVID-19, you're absolutely correct. I've done numerous videos on this. That's another reason to just go vegan is you're not contributing to climate change. And big agriculture, God, look at what Monsanto has done. I mean, they're just poisoning the earth for profit. They don't care about the long-term sustainability of the ecosystem that human beings need to survive. It's madness. It's fucking madness, man. Andrew Dwyer, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. MSNBC used to have Cenk, Dylan Radigan, and Glenn all on at once. What do you think caused MSNBC to go so much to the right? Well, it's the corporations. They got bought out by a big corporation. People are buying ad time, and they're like, that hurts our message. When Boeing and Raytheon are buying ad time with you, you can't have people talking anti-war. When Shell Oil, you can't have people talking climate change. Or if you do, you gotta introduce, there's 2 sides to climate change. You gotta play that bullshit game. It's who buys the ad time. All the ads on Fox News and mainly CNN and MSNBC, because their viewership is all ads for old people and big corporations and pharmaceutical companies. And that's why none of those networks could honestly, during the debates, they would always ask Bernie some loaded question. How are you going to pay for Medicare for all? Senator Sanders, you can't seem to find it, And then they would literally Joe Biden would say some bullshit. Bernie would kind of fight back, but not really. And then they'd cut to an ad from a big pharmaceutical company. They have slowly weeded out any true journalistic or lefty voices at all. They've weeded them all out. You can't have Dilly and Radigan on there. It's not good for business. They can't have them. If you want to stay on those big networks, you better play ball. All those people you named didn't want to play ball. I mean, Glenn Beck's a little bit of a wingnut, but you know what I mean? Flannel 1986. Boom! Flannel, thank you so much. Hey, Graham, I hope this helps. I just got some extra. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate any dollar amount anybody gives to the show. But dropping a C note, that's awesome. That makes a huge difference because I keep all of the they call this transactional revenue, all the super chat money, I keep it. They charge you a little extra fee. That's how they make their money. So it's not like if you give me $1, I get 86 cents or something. So I really appreciate that. That's huge, man. That's big. It's awesome. So thank you so much for supporting the show. You know, obviously I've talked about this. I lost, you know, Ron and I have lost a lot of road work. So that's why I've been going live like 5 nights a week. And you guys make it, I love doing it. And you support what I do. And there's so many great ways to support. There's the super chat like Flano1986 just did. I have a PayPal button on GrahamElwood.com. I have a P.O. box if you go to GrahamElwood.com. Some of you don't want to deal with the internet. That's cool. I have Venmo at Graham-Elwood, like PayPal and Venmo, or people who just want to do one-time things or whatever. The super chats are one-time, which is great. There's patreon.com/GrahamElwood, rockland.com/GrahamElwood. And for those of you who money is tight, and I totally get that, there's no pressure or shame or anything like that, the free ways to support the show, first of all, hit the like button. Secondly, make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell notification button. Even if you already have done that, but if you're new to the show, just subscribe. Those subscribe numbers help. And liking all of my videos, and even just something, the comments, positive comments, just the thumbs up, good job, whatever, anything in the comment section, they track all that stuff. They track likes, watching the ads on YouTube all the way through, even open up with just a separate browser window. If you click skip ad, I don't get paid. So those are all free ways to support the show, and sharing this on your social media. All those ways help if money's tight. And no shame if you can't afford. I get it. I appreciate the people who can. It really means a lot to me, especially in the middle of this crazy pandemic. It's huge. I've been able to keep going and grow this show. And, you know, like I said, I've ordered some new equipment. I want to increase the production value. You guys are so supportive and love everything that I'm doing. I just got to make the content is good. I just got to make the production value as good as I can get it. So I'm always trying to improve it. And that's why I'm getting this transcoder, which is going to improve it. I am going to buy a better microphone if I qualify for unemployment, which, you know, I got my stimulus check, so I got to make sure all my bills are paid and everything. But like, I'm always trying to improve the show. I got faster internet. Mitchell Heldt, one of you, sent me an Ethernet cable, so we've had less buffering issues. Always trying to improve this, make it better, make it bigger. If I get approved for this SBA loan, I'm going to try to hire some more people freelance to put some more money back in the economy, and I need help with this. So I'm always growing the channel, and the reason I'm growing the channel is because of you, because of all of you. I'm supported by you. Because you support the show, I can keep fucking throwing fastballs of truth at these oligarch sons of bitches. So thank you, Flannel1986. A vegan gun salute, brother. Boom, boom, boom. Shave 'em. Steve Thomas, what's up, Steve? Shaving my knuckles for 54 years for the Chicago Cubs. Oh, I miss baseball. We'll be back. Love the Cubbies. Love me the Cubbies. And so when like any kid, like a lot of kids, I loved baseball growing up. I played Little League, and I lived in Madison, Wisconsin. And we used to have to drive an hour and a half to Milwaukee to watch the Brewers play, which I loved watching the Brewers. They had Robin Yount and Paul Molitor and Cecil Cooper, and I got to see Reggie Jackson come in there and play when I was a kid. That was pretty cool. And then when in 1981, when I was 11 years old, we moved to Chicago. And I lived in Evanston, Illinois. And I was like 11. I just turned 12 years old. And my mom, you know, was a single parent, and she was working. And she's like, you know, you guys just get on. We were just, oh boy. My brother and I, or my buddy and I, would just take the train into the city. This is Chicago in the 80s. It was pretty gnarly. Man. I saw fights and gangsters. I saw all kind of criminal shit at a young age. But I love the fact all of a sudden I lived in a city that had 2 baseball teams, and I could take the train to either to the. I went to Sox and Whites and the Cubs games, White Sox and Cubs games. I went to more Cubs games because they were closer, and I fell in love with Wrigley Field. So I'm a Cub fan. I don't mind the White Sox, and I always liked living in a city that had 2 baseball teams. That was really cool. But I'm a Cub fan, and I have so many fond memories. And then when we ditched school and go take the train into the city. It was just taken, and then went back. They didn't have lights. All the games were day. All of them. All of them were day ball. It was the coolest thing. And Wrigley is just, there's something about it. So I grew up going to Wrigley as a kid, and I loved it. And then when I graduated college and moved back to Chicago and was starting my career full-time as a stand-up comic, which is where I met Jimmy Dore. And Paul Gilmartin, who plays Senator Richard Martin, or Congressman, or whatever he is, Representative Richard Martin. It was such a fun time. I was in my early 20s doing stand-up comedy, and a lot, you'd have shows at night, and you'd go to Cubs games during the day in the summer, and you'd drink beer out in the sun, and obviously before I was sober, and the Cubs, and I got to go to game 5 of the 2016 World Series. You know what, Steve? I'm going to show you that ticket. Hold on. What's up? Oh. So, game 5. Let me put this up there so you can see it. Game 5 of the World Series. Cubbies were down 3-1. It was the last home game at Wrigley. My buddy Bob Gillespie, who's a season ticket holder, had this for me. This is the coolest thing ever. And everyone was like, "Oh, we just don't want to watch the Indians win it at Wrigley." And I was like, "Yeah, let's just." And it was the coolest thing. I was like, "I'm so glad they won the pennant, and maybe we'll get them next year." And they won game 5, and we partied in the streets. I remember we were taking photos, and a cop photobombed us. Everyone was like partying, and we were like, "Wow, let's just go to Cleveland." And then they won game 6, and we went, "Wait a minute now." Oh, I got chills looking at this. This was so cool. I'll never sell this. I'm going to be buried with this. Oh, so great. So great. Gotta miss baseball. I'll say it before and I'll say it again. Grandma's my favorite reform jock ever. Oh, Colorado Rockies all the way right on. Yeah, I've said it before. I'm a hippie with I'm a hippie trapped in a meathead's body. Thank you, Steve Thomas, for supporting the show. Artificial Morphosman, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. I laugh when NPR does fun drivers. We are a non-biased news powered by you, the people. They fail to mention Koch brothers give them millions. Yeah, imagine if I was like, "Hey, go to my Patreon and do the super chats and go to Rockfin," and then I was in some fancy studio that the Koch brothers paid for, and I kept trying to, I'm funded by the viewers, but I'm here on the Raytheon soundstage. Just so big, gaudy. Oh man, we're doing the show live from an F-18 funded by Boeing. Aren't they great? Like keeping America safe. Like, oh boy, Graham really sold out. Ooh. Sam Dean, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Sam, are we getting Quando by Marlon Shatner tonight? I think we are, Sam. I went to a game 6 of the Celtics-Lakers championship in 1986. Oh, that's awesome. Kevin McHale grabbed James Worthy from behind the fast break, and it wasn't flagrant. They made the rule next year because of that play, yeah. The Cubs finally won World Series, but it took a bunch of Red Sox to do it. Ah, that's funny. You're rooting for the Cubs over an Indians? Oh, you're saying a bunch of shitty things? Wow. Don't do sports, dumbass. You just fucked yourself. Oh, wow. You know, that's so cunty. Even if you're joking, I'm going to block you. Yeah, I'm glad the Indians lost. Suck it, block. How's that sound? Fuck nut. Here comes the block. There you go. Tell you what. Indians lost. Indians lost to the Cubs. That's for you, guy I just blocked. Cubs beat the Indians. Indians still haven't won. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. I don't want your filthy. I don't want your filthy money. That's the money for winner. Got a winner. Cub fan. Winner. See? What does everybody think of the Hamburglar? I think it was framed. What's up, penalty box? Sports team owners need to usually be cretins. I know. It's that's the thing why I can't get that much into sports anymore, because it's just like it's such a corporate thing. It's so awful. Like there's ties with Pritzker, like his dad is one of the owners or something, or one of the owners' dad has ties to Epstein of the Cubs. I'm like, oh God, fucking worst. Oh yeah, speaking of sports ball, who do you support in the Aussie rules? I was the first time I went to Australia. I just bought I think it's the North Melbourne Kangaroos. I bought one of their shirts, and I was like, and some of my Aussie comedian friends are like, "Oh, you fucking tourist! Of course you bought the kangaroo thing." So yeah, I'm a North Melbourne Kangaroo. That's my team. I've been a kangaroo from I was born. I got North Melbourne Kangaroo blood in me, bro. A shin boner. If sports didn't charge $15 a beer and $10 a hot dog, maybe it'd be somewhat interesting. Oh, I know. It's so overpriced and everything. Theater 1969, thank you. Geelong Cats all the way. What is the Perth Eagles or whatever? How you doing with COVID-19 bullshit by Dr. Fucci? That's funny. Show that shin boner spirit. You're a North Melbourne fan too, Steve Thomas? Right on. How are soy protein hot dogs? They're not bad. I'll piss off with the I didn't think we were going to have an Aussie Rules football debate. A bunch of teams I don't know about. That's fantastic. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I'm a big fan of baseball history. Baseball history is great. Lockett be the best ever, no deny. Cats and Hawks fans are the worst. Oh, I love we're having an Aussie Rules football thing. Will Anderson, he loves talking about Aussie Rules football. I think he has an Aussie Rules football like podcast. Sky's not the limit. Shave your knuckles for justice. Are you hyped for those Neuralink brain implants? If Bill Gates is doing it, I trust him. I trust Bill Gates. We all got to trust Bill Gates. Cinema Cynic, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Graham, isn't it convenient the music industry gangster rap operation was in 91, just in time for the crime bill of 92? Supply side economics, keep calling them out. Yeah, thank you so much. I talked about that. It's a separate clip that if I haven't posted yet, I will. It's pretty gnarly. I got a bunch of clips I'm going to drop tomorrow and Saturday. I'm taking tomorrow off, so I won't be live streaming, so I'll just be working tonight, posting clips. That's why I started a little earlier. And then Saturday, 5 o'clock. Saturday, 5 o'clock. All right. Which rugby? I don't know anything about Aussie rugby. I don't know anything about rugby. If you don't know where you're going, you'll end up somewhere else. Yogi Bear is fantastic. Yes, 2 Guys, 1 Cup is Will and Charlie's AFL podcast. Yeah. Do I understand baseball analytics a little bit? Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I kind of like old school baseball. That's how I was raised. I mean, I get the analytics. It's the thing of the future. It's one of the reasons I like watching this Korean baseball. Is some of the teams use analytics, some don't. So there's just some kind of old school baseball shit in there that I dig. We're also desperate for the footy to come back. We'll talk about it at the drop of a hat. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I lived in Melbourne for 13 years, and still the only thing I know about Aussie football is that all the players are fucking gorgeous. Oh, shit. Go Fremantle Dockers. All right, good to know. Artificial Morphosman, what's up? Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Keep your vulgar monies. We are a justice sandwich. No toppings necessary. Living rooms of America. Do you catch my drift? The Tick. Oh, cool. I love the Tick. I love the Tick. Do you know who Haezong Pan virologist is? Google him. See a YouTube video pop up. You will like it. How to Take Over the World. Simpson clips added. He traces COVID-19 back to the US. Oh, interesting. California also passed a high-speed rail by vote, but it never got built. Passing law to give nurses unemployment in California doesn't mean they'll get it. That's a good point. George Brett was sitting most of the season. Pat the Batman fan, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Don't you think Jeff Bezos looks like the buzzard from Bugs Bunny? Right on. All right, folks. I'm going to sing us out of here. Dr. Phil versus Shaquille O'Neal. Outstanding. I remember that summer where George Brett was hitting 400. Oh, and Paul Molitor was right behind him. Paul Molitor was playing for the Brewers at the time. It was fantastic. I have heard that COVID reactions are due to overactive immune systems. So anything you can do to suppress your immune system should be good. That's good to hear. As messed up as what I'm about to say is, I missed the steroid era. Tony Gwynn betted 394.94 and was screwed by the strike. Oh, I know. Tony Gwynn. I saw Tony Gwynn's first ever professional home run. He did it at Wrigley Field. My buddy Jack Eidelman and I loved baseball so much we would get there early to watch batting practice. And we just walked down, and Tony Gwynn, we didn't know who he was. And he was like, I'm a rookie. And he had this voice. And we're like, oh, cool. Who are you? And we just wanted to get autographs from ball players. You know, we were like 12, 13 years old. And it was the day I think they retired Billy Williams' jersey for the Cubs. And we were like, "Do you got any home runs?" And he goes, "Nah, I'm just new to the league. I don't have any home runs." And he hit his first home run that day. And we were like, my buddy, we always say that. We saw his first professional home run. It was at Wrigley Field. It was great. Are steroids vegan? Sure. Harry Carey's saying, "Take me out of the ball game." Oh. Maniacally shout out song titles. First part of that immune system was true, but second half, okay. Got a lot of Aussies in here now. Baseball trivia question. In all the World Series between the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Yankees, only one player played in every game. Who was it? Ooh, great question. I want to say like Pee Wee Reese. I don't know. Is it Pee Wee Reese? Who was it? That's a great question. I love sports trivia. It was Pee Wee Reese? Holy shit. Oh, I knew it, dude. Boom. Ow, I just hit my I've been standing in front of this thing for 2 years. I just finally hit my elbow on it. Nice. Can you Shatner this? The boots of evil were made for walking. We're walking the big picture, friend. We know the score. We're the public service, not glamour boys nor captains of industry chick. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Pee Wee Reese, you got it, Graham. Outstanding, man. Nice Los Guns. Monarch. The real U.S. national anthem. I was just using logic that is not necessarily the way to go. A missing fact I'm overlooking, perhaps. The universe just punished me for gloating. What's more important in the creation of art? Scarce allocation of resources or unbearable pain of existence? Oh, boy. I don't know that you need either one of those things. If you're going to... I don't know. Interesting question. Unbearable pain of existence. I don't know if that means that every artist has to be tormented. And yeah, I don't know. You just have to express something. You have to show or describe something in a way that resonates with people. I don't know. It's a pretty lofty question. I like it, though. How did Graham and everyone in the chat hope everyone is healthy and well? You got it. All right. We're getting Quando by Marlon Shatner tonight. Oh, that's Jimmy's song. We might have a copyright on that. All right. Have you seen Plandemic? No, I haven't. They keep pulling it down. All right. And maybe we'll sing Quando. Why not, Sam? Since we're talking Aussie rules football, we'll do Sam's request, even though maybe Sam doesn't like footy. I don't know. But you're Aussie. That's all that counts. The Saturday the 5th. Let's go. Quando. Quando lyrics. No, I don't know the whole name of the thing. Quando. Let's go. Michael Bublé karaoke. Here we go. First of all, can you guys hear this? Can you hear this? Okay, good. Tell me quando we can share a love divine. Please don't make me wait again. Spock, I don't want to wait. Scotty beaming up. When will you say yes to me? Tell me quando. You mean happiness to me. Oh, my love, please tell me when. Spock, tell me. Every moment's a day. Every day seems a lifetime. Let me show you the way. To a joy beyond compare, on a 5-year mission, to boldly go quando. Boldly go quando. Quando. Tell me, Sulu, what factor 5? Tell me quando. Scotty, I need more power. I don't want to hear quando, Scotty. I want power now. Scotty, when can I have quando, warp factor 5? Tell me when. How insensitive. How cold I must have seemed. Tell me quando. Zazu, zuza. Over a hailing frequency. Let me show them how we love on my planet. Every moment's a day. Every day seems a lifetime. Let me show you the way. To joy beyond compare. Dee-do. I can wait a moment more. Tell me quando. It's me that you adore. Say it's me that you adore. Say it. And then, darling, tell me when. Oh, my darling, tell me when. People screaming, it's 8 o'clock. They're celebrating frontline workers. Oh, my darling, tell me when. Ooh, wee, ooh. Quando. That's the show, everybody. Come on. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for participating in our live chat. No live chat tomorrow, but Saturday, 5 o'clock Pacific. Oh, Shatner in the prison. Grandma, I love this show. Keep it up. Thank you. How about something from Disney sometime in the future? Never seen an elephant fly. Wish upon a star. Ooh, you got it. Remind me next time. You the man, mate. What's that weird noise? As people at 8 o'clock, everyone goes out and screams and goes woo and celebrates like frontline workers, and it's sort of like kind of like some people are doing it, just like, hey, we're all alive kind of a thing. So they're starting to do it all over my neighborhood, all over LA, and all over the US. I think they're doing it at 8 o'clock. Obviously, each time zone is different, but the neighbors have Stockholm Syndrome. Thank you, everybody, for supporting the show. When you wish upon a star. Yeah, we'll do it at Shatner. Thank you so that. Really appreciate you supporting the show. I really appreciate it. Saturday, 5 o'clock, the Zoom comedy show with Ron Placone. Tickets are at ronplacone.com, and for $5. Sunday, 3 o'clock Pacific. Monday, 8 p.m. rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. That's for VIP members. Exclusive show for VIP members. So join. It's only $10 a month. And go ahead, citizens of Gotham. Thanks for supporting the show. Shave your knuckles for justice. I'll see you Saturday. Quando? 5 o'clock Pacific. Quando? 8 o'clock Eastern. Quando? Sunday, 3 o'clock Pacific. Quando? 6 o'clock Eastern. Quando?